kind of want to look at HubSpot or the trade desk. Maybe Netflix, Nintendo, MasterCard, JD, Palo Alto. Just do a small amount. You know, if you've never shorted a stock before, short 10 shares, 100 shares. Don't go crazy. See how it goes. And then next time, you know, you have a little more confidence. Maybe LVMH. I don't know. Let me go to requests though. Let me do these. I should do this crazy ASP just because. ASP is like a little weird and boring, but you know, I went to the challenge. I hate looking at a stock like this, but if a Godel user tells me to do that, that's fine. They tell me to do jumping jacks. So how many do you want, boss? Customer's always right. And they say, Martin, how would you look at this if you gave it your biggest effort? How would you do this if you were 20 years old, hungry on Wall Street, and your boss gave it to you? You can't tell your boss, no, I don't like this. Get to work. GitHub is a file repository system. Aw, sea tanker. You send me an email because you got that drug stock wrong. I'll put you back in. Just send me an email explaining, and I'll sign you back up, man. I feel bad for you. I hate that drug. That you lost money on drug, man. This thing is a temptress, like head cow. It's an evil temptress. This is a big market cap for a company with no cash, no earnings. I hate shorting $3 or $4 stocks because brokers typically hate it, but if my broker would let me, I'd short this. There's so many active drugs for PAH. I don't know. Do users care? I mean, do patients care? Call them users now. You got oral Reniptram, but I don't think you need oral. I mean, yeah, I'm always giving out equity, man. I love giving out equity. That's a superpower. Your colleagues are your, man, that's all you got. You don't got smart people around you that want it, that want to win. I hate it when somebody looks at the equity and they're like, oh, this is like a lottery ticket. I've heard that. I used to hear that early in my pharma career. I'm like, hey, I'm giving you stock. They're like, yeah, but you know, it might not be valuable. Like, better make it valuable. What you think we're here for? What do you think we're here for? Matter of fact, give me that equity back. I'm going to give it to somebody that deserves it. I'm sure I've done the class before, but you know, cash flow statement's pretty easy. It just reconciles net income with changes in cash. So theoretically, the balance sheets change in cash from quarter to quarter. There should be a kind of reflection of that in net income. So let's say you had $1 billion in cash, net income was negative 100, next quarter should be 900 in cash. But that's not always the case because the income statement is GAAP. And the cash flow statement kind of cuts through all the GAAP and says, right, this is what really happened. Don't know a lot about cryonics, sorry. Probably just science fiction. These guys try to make isotopes. You usually need a cyclotron or an accelerator to do something like that. You can short stocks, you don't have to buy puts. Buying puts is actually kind of for noobs. You can sell, I mean, look, selling vol is very profitable. It's not a crazy idea. Many have done well doing this. But you have to look at vol prices too. Yeah, I finished looking at Dutch Bros, at least preliminary read was, you know, I like it. But, you know, restaurants are a new field for me. That's probably not a field I'm going to get that into, to be honest. But healthcare investment bank, it depends. I mean, JP Morgan, obviously, in terms of the big boys. Then there's Leerink and TD Cowen, in terms of like the more niche players. I always like Barclays, believe it or not. It depends. You know, you have banker side and then you have sell side analyst. So if you're the buy side, you don't really talk to the bankers. And there's even ECM, technically. Well, you know, it's worth monitoring these guys to see if they actually increase revenue, but it's kind of like almost like a chemicals company. They're making ytterbium-176 and silicon-28. And then maybe one more, molybdenum. Maybe it's not that bad, this ASP. I mean, it's certainly very speculative. They don't have really any business yet to speak of. And it seems like they're doing a lot of weird stuff. So I would normally say stay away, but they also do seem to be doing something real. I don't know, this isn't my space, There aren't many public companies that do this kind of stuff, so it's hard for me to compare or research it. But yeah, I would say it's safe to stay away. I mean, you might miss out on some huge gain, I don't know, but I definitely know there's a lot of demand for radioactive radioactive components and materials, but I don't know if these are the guys that can do it or not. I really have no clue. And it's not easy to tell. It's a lot easier if they had some sales, but they don't have any sales. So you're basically buying a venture at a 239 million pre-money. Like, gross margins are pretty low, so you're talking about 200 times sales. Now, sales could go up a huge amount, but you can maybe worry about it when that starts happening, if the stock doesn't go up by then. I don't know, I'm suspicious. I like MODERNA, 𝗍𝗓𝗡𝗎𝗓 I'm still working on. I know the results are coming soon. Crocs had a crazy run, yeah. ADUHELM just didn't work, but it got replaced by 2 new drugs that do work. IRS is very tricky if you have lots of money, because I had a $4 million refund, and any refund above $1 million for an individual has to get approved by Congress, a subcommittee of Congress. You can imagine what they said to my refund. I'm not sure the average retail investor can get that exposed to AI. I mean, sometimes drug companies don't want to be bought out by big pharma. It's fairly high on MODERNA. I mean, if that CMV drug doesn't work, it's toast, but they got 2 out of 2 vaccines. I mean, I think they can get it done by November, but I'm not sure. I would buy a little bit of November's, not too many though. Mostly by December's. How do I rate my Excel skills? It used to be a 10, probably like an 8 or 9 now. Maybe even a 7. I think a good entry point for MODERNA is right now. Well, the CMV vaccine's in phase 3. COVID's approved, RSV's approved. But the CMV one is the biggest one of all. Well, we start with the company's estimate. The company estimates $5 billion in potential revenue for CMV vaccine. I don't think that's too crazy. It's probably a little high, but you have to know the industry. If you know the industry, you can kind of guesstimate, you know? How do you know the industry? Make hundreds of models on all the stocks in the industry. Listen to hundreds of conference calls. eBay, Pitney Bowes, ASP, 𝗕𝗀𝗀𝗡𝗢𝗢. And then there was another stock I looked at today and I said it was a short too. My brain is so full. Oh, PEARSON. Duh. ASP isotopes. PEARSON, PSO, yeah, the textbook company. It's interesting, they kind of, textbooks aren't really even their business anymore. It's mostly like assessment tools for like schools and stuff like that, so tests, but also industrial tests, medical tests, stuff like that. Wow, look at Corvus. The stock is up 30% since I recommended it like 2 weeks ago, and it was a suggestion of Godel user, thank you. Look at this beast. You know that's going to 10. You know that's going to 10. Yeah, I liked Roblox. I didn't say buy it, but I didn't think the Hindenburg piece was that useful or effectual. Look at that. You know that stock's breaking out. Love to see it. Yeah, I can do that, TM. I'm building the Godel Excel plugin. It's got to connect to our auth database. It's not easy to program Excel plugins. They're kind of cumbersome. Humacyte's starting to get up there. That's a good short. That might be kind of close with cassava is my best idea. YMAP's done pretty well. Oatly, it's a dog. Toast starting to pick up a little bit. Cassava, we all know what's going to happen there. Celas, 𝗕𝗢𝗢𝗇 will pop there. Bane of my existence, ADMA. Clearest item. Hopefully I saved some people some money on that one. Hood. I want to look up when I recommended Hood. If one of you guys can do that for me, I'd appreciate it, as well as hymns and everything else. I'm just too lazy. And I don't want to not entertain you guys, so. But yeah, probably best idea is 𝗧𝗧 and then 𝗘𝗀𝗢. These guys, a telecom company? Yeah, I guess CenturyLink. Yeah, so telecom, I'd say. Who is Dan Hagen? He's just like a random guy buying huge amounts of stock. Guy has like $300 million of this one stock. It's pretty odd. Like, this is not a small company. There's a good book Manning puts out, which is like Heads Up, or let's see, Manning, PyTorch, Deep Learning with PyTorch by Manning. Pretty good. $23, you can make millions. Pretty good. AT&T is like the worst McKinsey company ever. Yeah, I think AI can help you trade, absolutely. Oh, wow, these guys are super levered up. You guys see that? You know what that's like? That's like when you see the chick, looking fine, right? Hot as hell. And then she turns around, this is the side profile. And she got that 𝗙𝗂𝗡𝗢𝗙. That's the side profile. Just carrying all that leverage right there. That's leverage. Leveraged finance, LevFin. I'm in the LevFin department myself. Just BBLing it right now. I'm sculpting it a bit. A little bust there too. This is the beautiful art. It's a female form, okay? I'm like Michelangelo right now. That's what CenturyLink is. All right, 6 billion market cap. And then you turn around, look at the debt, 23 billion. It's a lot of debt. This thing is thick. And so like, what's the relationship between market cap and debt? And market cap and EV? Like, could they go from 23 billion EV to 6 billion market cap? Like, you meet this really thick girl, you know? Leverage right there. Massive leverage. All right, so yeah, so 6 billion market cap, 18 in debt, which makes 23 billion enterprise value. Sometimes leverage overwhelms us. I just picked a color. Don't read into it. Well, it's a telecom company. A lot of them are levered, but this is like 3-to-1 leverage more. Oh man, revenue's declining too. See, this is why it's useful to have debt in your terminal, because you see, look at the debt and say, do I want to play the debt? All my drawings are gold, okay? Do you want to include depreciation in this model? It's, in telecom, I kind of like to do that actually. Kind of add it in here. If it's like constant recurring depreciation, you know? Okay, so you see their interest costs overwhelm their business income. Not good.
This is a day in the life of being in the friend zone. At 8 a.m., Kristen knocks on my door. Her boyfriend just broke up with her. At 8:01, I do a quick celebratory dance. This is the best day of my life. At 9 a.m., I take Kristen out to her favorite brunch spot. She's so upset from the breakup, she forgot her wallet. After that, I tell Kristen I really want to see a movie. So, instead, we go shopping so she can buy a new outfit and look cute for other guys. Well, while she shops, a cute girl approaches me and actually talks to me. We have a ton of mutual interests. Before I could get her number, Kristen says we have to go for some unknown reason. At 2 p.m., I listen to Kristen vent about her breakup. Every detail of her breakup.
At least on the bright side, I'll be able to walk normally again.
After that, we snuggle up and watch a movie. Today we're spooning, but soon we'll be forking. At 7 p.m., we go out together. It's so fun spending quality time with my best friend. After a few drinks, I decide it's finally time to let Kristen know how I feel.
Kristen, ever since we first met, I just thought you're the most amazing girl I've ever met in my life, and I've been in love with you this whole time.
Tyler, I've been saying I wanted a guy like you, but maybe you're the guy I've wanted this whole time. I promise never to take you for granted ever again.
At 11 p.m., Kristen gets a text from Michael. She immediately invites him over. Michael comes over so they can talk in my bedroom. I've never heard Kristen scream like that. She must be so angry. I make a makeshift bed for myself on the couch, and that's my day.
Okay, they sold the business, so maybe that's why revenue declined. They're guiding to $1 billion in free cash flow when they've averaged negative cash flow over the last 6 quarters. It's pretty hard to do positive free cash flow if you've only had negative free cash flow. So far this year, they've had slightly positive, but revenue growth is probably the most important if you had to pick just one, I guess. I don't know why that guy bought $300 million of the company. Crazy. That random rich dude. Yeah, I don't see it. I wouldn't pay 10 times earnings even if they restructured and did some really wild stuff. I mean, I think they sold a business that wasn't doing so great, but yeah, I don't know. I would watch out. This rally is a little sus. Oh, they're trying to say that they're an AI company now. Yeah, I don't see how it can really change anything for them. But, I mean, they've dropped $5 billion in revenue just the last 3 years. Yeah, I'm suspicious. All right, market's closed. Glaucus has results. GCOS met primary endpoint. Just quarterly earnings, date and announcements. I've like literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 short or avoids in a row. I'm in a bad mood today, I guess. I'm just looking at some dog stocks. Oh, ADMA kind of closed positively. No, Org is Organogenesis or one of these other companies. It's like the medtech company. So this is OGN. This is the spinoff from Merck. So ORGANON's a $5 billion company. It took acquired in-process R&D and combined it with R&D, which is maybe according to GAAP correct, but that's not right. So I can replace that cell. Where's the interest expense? This is interest expense. Interest and other, and whatever that is. It's supposed to be operating income. You can see by the time you correct the machine's mistakes here, you don't, yeah, this is a good L export. You don't actually gain any productivity because you got to sit and double check the machine's mistakes. Now we could fix that with LLMs and stuff like that and just have like a general set of principles. And you could also like have different preferences. So it's like, no, export only exactly these financial statements this way or do it a different way. There's a few ways to handle it. And that's why most of the systems out there aren't very good. So this was supposed to be interest expense, which is 37. Okay, this is supposed to be this plus that. Shares outstanding. This is taxes. And here's net income. All these systems have the same properties, so it's not quite perfect. And you could do your financial analysis one way or another, but I like it to be perfect. I don't know what that 1607 is. Let me see if they did a split. Or I can just go check here. Income statement, income continuing. I don't know why it released. I'm not even sure where that comes from. Oh, that's revenue again. Or maybe, yeah, I don't know if I pasted that or something. Cool. Okay, so it kind of helps. I had to hand adjust it myself, but I'm not sure that's better than typing it all in. It's a very stable, no growth product portfolio. Yeah, you can just export. So you don't need to copy and paste. There's an export button that will create an Excel. I mean, we could probably get one to create a Google Sheet. We could probably get one to, I mean, there's a million ways it could probably work. But, you know, we'll continue to innovate.
The results at the time. Just wondered if you could touch a little
Some controversy? The guy got arrested. CEO quit.
bit about the controversy and how the 2 ongoing phase 3 clinical trials are addressing that. And
How's the rest of the play, Mrs. Lincoln?
The 2 phase 3 clinical trials.
This is kind of like when you get a nice glazed donut, you can't wait to eat it, and you drop it. you're like, 5-second rule, maybe, I don't know. Not me. But for these cassava people, it's like you're dropping the donut and it lands in a puddle of New York City rainwater. And you pick it up and you drop it again. This time, it's in a big thing of dog poop. And you're like, man, this thing's still good, right? You pick it up and it's got hair and all kinds of crap on it. And you're like, yummy.
And of those people,
They want to make the company a referendum on the other problems in their life, right? And look, we all have problems in our life. That's fine. But you cannot import those issues into your decision-making process because they're weighing on you. Yeah, government's corrupt. My taxes are too high. We're losing faith in media and science. This has nothing to do with this company. I can't trust the government. Yeah, no, that's all true, but it has nothing to do with it. And, you know, your problems are not... Like when you watch that crazy guy, the bald dude, what's his name, Springer? He's like, you know, he's a conspiracy theorist talking about Mossad agents. And it's like, dude, yeah, you have issues. Clearly, you have issues in your life that most of us do not have. You need some Risperdal, some Seroquel. It's no problem, you know. But, you know, the world's not out to get this stupid drug company. And you can't take the issues that you know exist or maybe that you've created for yourself in the real world and then all of a sudden import them and say, no, all of these make sense when I look at cassava. Big Pharma's trying to stop cassava. There's big pharma companies without any Alzheimer's drugs. Without any. In the works. Johnson & Johnson would love to buy or partner with cassava. Are you crazy? Oh, Johnson & Johnson has nothing to lose. How about Roche? Very little going on at Roche. How about Pfizer? They would all love to partner with cassava, buy out cassava. They would write huge checks to do so. They thought, oh, it's too bad to be true. No, some drugs are bad. They don't work. Wait. Say that again? Remember, Dr. Wang made the drug that is this company.
And carefree. Speaking of that, now everything that's associated with Dr. Wang is now separate from the company. Yes.
yeah. And, you know, look, I've never met the man, to be fair.
He's inventive, all right.
That was, you know, that's pretty well accepted these days. So, you know,
No, it's
a lot
not.
of bad things have been written about the guy, and he's gone through a really hard time. I feel badly for him. Again, I don't know him. But, you know, we have, as a company, we have had to move on. Dr. Wang had nothing to do with our phase 3 program.
Other than he made the drug it's in.
Um,
He's so mad. They become a conspiracy stock? Conspiracy pharmaceuticals? Failure? Well, what failure? We never afford the trial. We just keep filing until the FDA says yes. 1,000 no's could equal 1 yes. Easiest short in years. Years. No, there's not going to be a subgrouper signal. Nobody's going to believe that. The stock will go down on that. I have dry eye. I mean, not bad, but my eyes are dry right now. Is that okay? Is that okay with you? Well, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you have a great weekend. This was a lot of fun.